Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who will never get to experience Han and Leia's marital bed, Bill.
Only in my wildest dreams. Hi, everyone.
So, big news this week. The Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, the Disney Star Wars hotel, is shutting down at the end of the year, September.
Yeah. Taking its final voyage.
Much maligned. We, right from the start, we were like, how much does it cost to stay there? What? Wait, what? You're stuck there? Wait, what do you do? What are there for kids to do? What's going on? I don't know who planned this thing. Are we going to blame this one on Kathleen Kennedy too? It seems like she takes the flack for all the poor Star Wars related decisions.
Right. Well, we don't blame Bob Iger. We blame the other Bob, right?
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk. Is that his name?
Yeah. No.
What is it? Odechek something? What is it?
The High Evolutionary.
Hi, hey, there we go. Remembered something from last week. Yeah, so it was a disaster.
Bob Chapek.
Chapek. There, Chaplips.
Yes. Let's blame him.
It was a disaster from the start. So the idea behind the Star Wars hotel was it was very expensive. So unless you owned land where there was oil underneath, or you came from a country that didn't care about regulations, you probably weren't going to be able to afford to go. I don't know if they were doing contests to win your way on, like Willy Wonka. That seemed like the only way that the average Joe was going to find their way on there.
Right.
In the last few months, they've actually been doing, if you were a pass holder, you got a 30% discount.
Oh.
From the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, Matt Cardona and his wife went. They vlogged it. So they were planning to take the rest of the crew to go, but that doesn't seem like it's possible now.
No.
So people have booked, not a lot, but people have booked flights past the September end date. So Disney is working with those people to rebook them sooner because they're closing down shop, closing doors. Spirit Halloween is moving in there. It's perfect timing because it ends in September, and then you got Spirit holding up right before the big day.
Got the whole month.
So, are you sad? Did you ever think that you would get to go?
I don't think. I think that the Galaxy's Edge was enough for me in terms of being immersed in the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's extremely hard to do. To just put yourself in there, and the whole idea of the Galactic Starcruiser just seemed like it was an idea that, not the casual fan could go, not the casual person could go to it. It was just people who like to cosplay, influencers,
right?
And people who, like you said, were gifted the ability to see and partake in the event. But once everything was kind of rolled out and revealed, and what was kind of in place there, it didn't really seem that exciting.
It didn't, and that I think maybe of everything is the biggest problem. Because you could say oh, it's so expensive, but it's if this was an amazing thing, Star Wars fans, they could have sold some replicas, they could have saved. If it meant something to the Star Wars fans, they could have found a way to go, but they didn't, because it didn't seem that cool.
No.
Sure, you got these close encounters with costume characters, and you had Rey and Kylo fighting above you, and you got to see that patented lightsaber that she does the quick switch out with.
Yes, you go on a mission with Chewbacca if you're lucky.
Sure. That seems fun. Right, not everybody even gets that.
No.
But it's okay, if you live in Florida, it's one thing, you can just drive over. But if you're coming from out of state, and then you're just sort of stuck in this one thing, you don't even get to see the other. You get one day in Batu, but it's you don't even get fast passes to go to Magic Kingdom or anything. It just seemed like a bad idea. And I think that is really what it boils down to. It just didn't work. They wanted the richest of the rich to come and be sequestered in this Star Wars world. They thought it would be fascinating. They thought rich people would just like throw money at them.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And I think they only have themselves to blame. You can't blame the people that realized the vision of whoever thought this was a good idea, because it was as well executed as a thing like this could be, but it wasn't good enough. So now the question turns to, they have this structure. They're not going to demolish it. What are they going to put in there? It's already Star Wars themed. Do you think we're going to see another Star Wars experience? It's hotel rooms.
Yeah.
You make it a haunted house? What are you going to do with this space?
Well, all joking aside, with the Spirit Halloween and everything, we'll turn it into like maybe a launch, like a trampoline park. Who knows?
There you go.
But all joking aside, I mean, I guess you could do. I don't know. It just seems like you said, like a haunted house. Maybe each room has a character, like a meet and greet character, and you just walk down the hallways and you open the door.
Escape
and
room, maybe
an escape room. Hell, get me out of here.
The bedrooms, or like the hotel rooms, they're not spacious. They're tiny. That was another.
They're very compact.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look like outer space at the end of the day.
Well, they have like the windows that are really screens, so they can project whatever. But we talked about this. Nobody wants to be stuck in this timeline. No. In the Star Wars time, no one wants this part. Nobody wants to be dropped in the sequel trilogy.
Right.
We like the original trilogy. Now we like the Mandalorian stuff.
Yeah.
So it just, I think it all comes back to Disney expected the sequels to be a bigger deal, and people just didn't love it. It didn't resonate with people, and we are where we are, and now we have to adjust. And I think this is the right thing to do. I mean, if it wasn't making money, like, rather than scaling back on the experience, if people are willing to pay this money, much money, you got to give them what they paid for. So rather than like cutting back on performers or whatever, just shut it down, start over, build anew. Yeah.
Here's my solution real quick.
Yeah.
Retheme it. Return of the Jedi style. Main area, Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Love it.
Every room, Jabba's dungeon.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Make it happen.
Right. Yeah. That's my theory.
That's all. That's my thought. And then you don't even have to spend that much money because it's like low tech.
Yeah.
Don't even have to like hire people to clean because like the dirt is part of the
theming. Getting dirty and dirty. Don't have to pay for lighting.
That's right. It's very dingy. Just have some of those monkey lizards running around. Just figure out that technology.
Well, they sell those already in Batu.
That's right. Yeah, the little shoulder pets. Great.
Get some 3D scanning technology in. Get yourself scanned into carbonite.
There you go.
Right?
Man, look at that. You solved it.
Just like that.
That could be like one of the events where someone gets unfrozen from carbonite.
Yeah.
And they come out, they fall out to their knees and they're blind. And then they're like wandering around blind for the rest of the trip. Yeah, look at that. And then you build like a giant sandbox in the back so you can let people out. You can drive like the skiffs around or something fun like that. Have a sarlacc in the middle. You throw food to it. Feed the sarlacc. Yeah, this is easy peasy stuff. Like, come on, Disney.
It is.
What are you doing? You're overthinking it.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. My guess is going to be nothing happens for a while.
I think that Disney putting money into anything in Florida is probably going to be put on hold for a little while.
Yeah.
We're not spending any more money in the great state of Florida for reasons. But we'll see how things play out. There was some other big Star Wars news / rumors this week. Dave Filoni is doing a Star Wars film, a theatrical film. And did we find out the title or just sort of what it's based on?
I don't know if we found out what it's based on. So this is the culmination of the Mandalorian centric series, as it were. Okay. So we see Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, anything that takes place during this time is going to end with this movie. And I think
very interesting.
The title that's floating around is the most obvious title that anyone could ever think of, and it's so obvious and blatant that it's one of those things like, is this real? So the title is Heir to the Empire.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
A lot of fan service right in that. So
sure.
How true to that source material? Probably not very much outside of the title.
What happens in the original Heir to the Empire?
So that takes place about 4 years after? 3 to 4 years after Return of the Jedi. Han and Leia are married. They have kids. They have the twins.
Nice.
Mara Jade plays a prominent role. That's the hand, the emperor's hand, as it were. She was force sensitive, and she kind of is tracking down Luke Skywalker. We see the clone of Luke, spelled Luke with
Luke. Is it
2
pronounced
U's.
Luke?
Yeah, 2 U's.
Why did they do that? Why did they do that? Is there some precedent for clones just having an extra vowel in their name?
Extra vowel.
So bizarre.
Bill.
So bizarre. Bill. Pow. It's like E.T. It's like
Yeah,
E.T.
yeah.
wrote this script. Pow.
So
Mara Jade does not exist in the current, so it's there's
correct.
going to be some changes there.
Yes.
So hopefully, it's weird. It would be weird if they used that title and then it was completely different. So you would hope they keep it a little similar. Or what are you doing?
I would say outside of the Ewok movies, that this was the biggest thing that happened to Star Wars since the final film, since Return of the Jedi. So it was what
This
brought
novel was?
It's a trilogy of novels.
Okay.
So you have Heir to the Empire. Shoot. Heir to the Empire.
Shoot. That's a good one. I like
Shoot.
that one. Shoot. Well, you can Google it.
We can Google it. Well, the last one's called The Last Command.
Thrawn trilogy.
The
right?
Thrawn
Is that what it is?
trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking on the.
This is why I'm not going to the Galactic Starcruiser, because
you're not a true fan.
They wouldn't let me in just based on my on the spot knowledge.
Right.
Of Star
you have
Wars.
to take a test.
Yes.
The test is give us your bank account information.
Yes.
Can you afford it? So lots of Star Wars news this week. We'll get into some other Star Wars stuff in a minute. But at the moment, I would like to talk about the Into the Spider-Verse hamburger.
Oh, wow.
Burger King. So you have been able to experience the Into the Spider-Verse hamburger from you have been able to experience the Into the Spider-Verse Whopper from Burger King.
Right.
I do not have any functioning Burger Kings near me. There are technically Burger King locations within driving distance, but if you go to them, it is a 50-50 chance that anyone will take your order.
Oh.
They are not fully functioning restaurants anymore.
They're all
it's good to
selling-
see that there are still BK lounges that exist.
They're all selling Mr. Beast burgers instead, right?
Yeah, they're ghost kitchens or whatever
Yeah,
shenanigans. That whole thing is crazy to me. But like the last time I went to a Burger King was for the Halloween burger with the black bun.
Sure.
Like, I love gimmicky stuff. That's the only reason I would go to Burger King.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking it was good. I do actually like the Whopper. Something about like the ratio of mayo to like burger they have.
Oh, yeah.
And then it has that smoky flavor that you don't get from the other fast food places.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I could go, I would go. If Burger King wants to send me some frozen Whoppers, I'll defrost them and eat them myself. But you actually got one. You got one. So tell me about this experience.
So we'll have pictures of me with the Whopper
as
I talk about this. So I didn't see a commercial for it. I saw it online. It's not.
Yep.
It's not like it's only here for a week thing. I think the promotion runs through mid-June.
There you go.
If not all the way to the end of June. And essentially, it is what it is. It's a red Whopper with black sesame seeds.
Red.
The bun is red.
Yep.
Black
like
sesame seeds
a
on it. Right, like a spider.
Like a Spider-Man.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And the biggest draw for me to get it, because I don't eat a lot of Burger King, and like you, the Burger Kings, they're not close. Like, I have to drive at least 30 minutes away just to get to one. Mm-hmm. But my kids didn't believe me that there was a red Whopper, so we got the promotion material, like coupons, in the mail.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, kids, check this out. They're doing Spider-Man Whoppers. Mm-hmm. My daughter, of course, being the age that she is, was like, that's not real. And I'm like, well, prove
Liar.
you wrong, 6-year-old. We're taking a drive.
Uh-huh.
So
there was a different cheese too, right?
You know, the thing about Whoppers is I don't even notice the cheese, but maybe that's what.
Oh yeah.
That's
like
what
spicy
okay.
cheese.
Maybe that's what changed it up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like that would be the only flavor difference
Okay.
because the red, people are always like, or like when I mention this, people are like, oh, it's got that bad red food
Red
color
40. Red 40,
it's gonna
yeah.
make your insides all red. But
Right.
Burger King apparently saying the red color comes from beets.
Yes.
beet juice.
That's fine.
So you will not die from eating it.
Very prominent color.
You would normally.
Of course, yeah. You're eating an unhealthy burger anyway, but you might, it's not going to kill you from the bun. Good sandwich, I'll say that much.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Very hearty.
Uh-huh.
The kids couldn't believe it, and then I ate it so fast, and then my daughter was like, I want to take a bite of it, and I was like, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Should use those spider reflexes.
Right.
That would have been a good commercial where they like, and they're like, I feel like they did, like for one of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Did they do Burger King promotion with that?
Oh, I'd imagine.
Sony, did they do Burger King, not McDonald's? Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Do they have Coke or Pepsi at Burger King?
They have Coke.
Okay. We went to IHOP, or IHOB, if you will. Remember when it was IHOB? That was a weird time. So we went to the International House of Pancakes for dinner, and they have Pepsi, and I like when restaurants have Pepsi because I like Mountain Dew. So I ordered Mountain Dew, and the waitress brings it out, and she's like, "I'm sorry, it's so light, like in color, like the color was light." And I was like, "Well, that's not a good sign." So I drank it, and I was like, "This is not Mountain Dew." So I had looked at the menu. This is how I realized that they have Pepsi. Yeah. But they have Starry. Have you seen it? Starry is the new one that replaced something.
Sierra
What did
Mist.
It replace?
Sierra Mist.
Yes. So they had Mountain Dew and Starry. And this was definitely Starry. So I don't know what their situation was in the back. Like if the tubes were like crossed, like if they crossed the beams, crossed the streams.
Crossed the syrups.
Or this is like a marketing campaign for Starry, where they're just like, anytime anyone orders anything yellow, just give them a Starry. Like, you ordered lemonade, oh, here you go.
Here's some really pushing Starry, because, it's
really pushing
trouble.
Starry. Because when she came back and I needed a refill, I was like, I will have a refill of Mountain Dew, please. Yeah. Thinking, like, maybe she misheard me. But no, because she even commented on how it was the wrong color.
Right.
So, second one, also Starry. So, Starry tastes okay. If you want Mountain Dew and you get Starry instead, I wouldn't say you would be happy with the situation. I wouldn't happy, but I didn't dock her tip. I gave her the appropriate 5% tip. So yeah.
So case in point, when in Florida and you want Mountain Dew, ask for Starry.
That I should have done that. I'd be like, this time I want to mix it up a little. Can I have some Starry?
I'd be like, yeah. They're like, yeah, sure. Also, yeah. This tastes like piss.
Sprite.
You should bring you Sprite, right?
It did taste a little like piss, so now I'm starting to think maybe they should have served me piss.
God.
Oh, I shouldn't have let the kids try it. Oh well. You showed me a picture of this Lego Batcave.
I did.
And this thing is impressive. Lego is pretty clever because they've designed it so that it also works as a shadow box. So you could like put it on your wall as decoration. You can decorate your house with Lego.
Yeah. Lego's just all sorts of crazy now. I remember when you could just build things, and now Lego itself just seems like it's its own. I don't even know.
Lego is it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle brand now.
Yes.
Like, you don't collect Lego, you live Lego.
Right. Yep.
You have to. If you're really into Lego, you're like submitting designs for new building sets. Like you're voting. Like It's like, ask somebody, did you vote? You mean for president? No, for the new Lego set.
For the new Lego Ideas set, you fool. What's wrong with you? See you there on the 1st of the month, month.
Yeah, that's right.
The new
Everybody
Lego
camps
drops.
out. Yeah. It's a whole thing. Thing. So this Lego set, is it based on the movie Batman's, like the Michael Keaton series?
It looks like it is. It looks like it is.
Because it comes with Max Schreck.
Oh.
Christopher Walken's character.
Nice.
But he is not wrinkly enough. Somebody found a Lego minifigure that the face would be much more accurate to that character than what they're giving us. But it's not. Cool, the outside has the bat symbol. It looks great.
Right. It's shaped like the symbol, and then it's cut out. It's almost like if you wanted to cut it into your wall. Like you see a lot of people go kind of crazy and make like little pocket doors in their walls, but inside is like a little Lego scene. So this just kind of takes all that effort out of it, and you can just put it on a shelf and save your wall.
I always liked the Batcave as a toy. I remember getting the Kenner version, and the one I had was, I think, from the '89 Batman. But I almost want to say it was repurposed, or did they just re-release that one?
I want to say it was probably repurposed from the either Superpowers or just the Batman line itself from Toy Biz. I know which one you're talking about because I own your Batcave.
Did I sell it to you?
You did.
That's funny. What's wrong with me? Why did I get it?
I don't know.
That? But then I remember for the animated series, Kenner, they would occasionally update. So there was like the trifold one that had a big door for the Batmobile to drive through.
Right.
So like when you think of the Bat Cave, there was like the Bat computer station. That was always a big part. Like you had somewhere for Batman to sit, and then you had the big monitors. And they reused that one a lot for for the movies. But then for Batman Forever, they made this monstrosity of like different platforms that connected. Yes. I don't think I've ever seen this in person. Like, I don't think anybody owns this.
No,
did they actually make this? Could you buy this?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it floating around on the internet here and there. It was 3 feet long. It was multi-tiered, like multi-decked.
Yeah,
and it was just
specifically that was like
the
all about
Batcave.
The car.
It was all about the car.
Places to put the car.
You had the computer too. You had the Bat computer.
Chick stick the car. Well, of course, you have to have the computer, or it's not like, what's the point? What's the point of it? That's what the Batcave is all about.
I'm trying to think if they went back to that trifold after Batman Forever. Mm-hmm. Because the trifold, the trifold itself always had Wayne Manor as the facade, and then you would flip it back. You'd have the Bat computer, but then you'd have some kind of element that wasn't associated with, like, the Batcave. So I think for one of them, it was actually just like a frozen, like, factory. If that makes any sense.
That came with the Batcave? Because I kind of remember that it was one as like a separate piece.
Really?
Well,
I can just visualize like frozen piping.
Because there was like a animated Batman set that got repurposed, I thought, with the frozen stuff.
Oh, they did make like a frozen play set, yeah.
Yeah,
that was for Batman and Robin.
Any Batcaves for Batman and Robin.
Okay, I must be thinking of something else.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay, here's the Batman and Robin. It is the trifold, so they did go back to the trifold.
Okay,
yeah, which was a good set because you had the computer station, and then you had where the Bat costume was stored, and a little door that opened, and you put Bruce Wayne in there, like clipped him in. Right, and then you had the front of Wayne Manor, where you had like a character come out the top, and he's like, "Hi everybody, I'm not Batman, I'm not Robin, I'm just enjoying being a rich guy."
Trick or treat.
I think Mattel made some pretty good ones for like the newer DC stuff, but I like stopped paying attention because I was like, oh, I think one of them actually came with like a good Bruce Wayne figure, like they had the best likeness to Ben Affleck, but it was like a smaller figure, like the 5-inch scale, not like their full 6-7 inch.
Well, yeah, they went wild too. That was the other thing, because the Batcave started to look very similar to what Playmates was doing with the turtle lair.
Yes.
Where it was like this multi-deck, all-in-one, the bottom was the Batcave, and then on the top you had the street level, and then above that you had some sort of space scene.
Yeah, Mattel has a really fun one, and it has an elevator in the middle, which is cool.
Yeah.
And like the bottom, so those are my two favorite elements of the Batcave: an elevator or something that lets you swing, like a string.
Oh yeah.
And a what's it called when you hang on, like a wee? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What's it called? There's a word for it.
Zipline.
Zipline. There it is.
Yeah.
And then you have like a tackling dummy character. So there's like an armory room, and then you have like a punching bag, but it's shaped like a villain.
Oh,
Those are my two favorite elements of any sort of playset.
There we go.
So that one had that. And I think the new Ninja Turtle set has the punching bag that looks like somebody. Or at least, it's like...
One of the play sets has the Shredder punching bag.
I like that.
I think they carried it through, because I think there's 3 versions of that Nickelodeon Turtles. But this newer turtle layer, it's got like a workout room, as it were.
That's cool too, right?
With
the bench,
like the bench and the weights. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you're playing, you want to, like, it's time to train. Like, can't fight evil all the time. You got to put in your reps.
That Toy Biz Colossus was my favorite figure. He just had that giant barbell, and all he would do is go like this.
He could do one.
This is my action. Yeah, this is my action pose. A lot of stuff coming out for that Turtles all of a sudden. That movie doesn't come out until August. I just saw an end cap full of turtle bedding, stuffed animals, stuffies, whatever you want to call them.
Five Below had like a activity set, like markers and stickers and stuff.
So anything that you can that's going to be the face of the Turtles for the next 4 to 5 years, it seems.
Yeah.
Which will be good, because it just seems like all the media, like, if you want to have a turtle birthday, it's going to have to be Rise with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed, and you're like,
I don't want that. Yeah. So we talked about Super 7 showing off a new series of The Simpsons Ultimates on the cover of Toy Collector, which is an actual physical magazine that you can buy, which blows my mind. But thankfully somebody scanned the photo from it, which is why magazines are sort of redundant at this point.
Yeah.
So we know that the 3 figures we saw, Lisa, Marge, and Groundskeeper Willie, that's it for the set. It's not like there's a 4th figure. They're bringing the number of figures down to 3, which is fine. Whenever they start reducing figure lineups, it gets me a little nervous. And then the other thing is they are going to stick more to the traditional looks of the characters, which makes me feel like somebody sort of like cracked the whip at Super 7 and like, let's get this train back on the tracks. Like, you're getting a little out there here. Like,
quit screwing around, Super 7.
Quit screwing around. Yeah, we got to get the original guys out here. Nobody's going to buy these things.
Yes.
So the Marge and Lisa, they come with alternate heads, as does Groundskeeper Willie. Yep. Lisa comes with Maggie. It's a full Maggie. Maggie also has two alternate heads.
Yeah.
So you get some crazy looks. There's just like, and like you don't normally see these figures straight on. That's the thing with the design. It's always like 3/4. So it's weird to see them straight on. That being said, something weird about Lisa. There's like a little bump below her eye or something. It just looked a little weird to me.
Yeah.
But they've nailed the other figures that we've seen. At least that first set, I guess. I don't know if we've seen anything else in 3D other than the renders. So I have faith that they're going to look good. I want them. I need them in my life. I don't know when we're going to get those, because we're on how many pre-orders? I want to say 4 sets of pre-orders. This last one had like Gregory Tatum and and Moo Moo Homer and who else was in that set? That was still a 4-figure set.
It was.
The one before it has the 2 aliens that are like deluxe figures because they cost a lot more and they're huge. Yeah. And at first I was like, no. But now, since I'm all in on these, I'm like, well, I got to get them. I think they're pre-sold out everywhere, so I don't know what that's going to look like for me.
You'll find them.
But I'm excited for more Simpsons. I want the core family. Sell me a couch. I want to do all the couch gags. I really want these figures. So please support this line. The first series still discounted on Entertainment Earth, Bill still hasn't bought his set. I don't know what he's waiting for.
I'm waiting.
There's plenty of stuff on there to get to that free shipping threshold.
I know. Well,
get on it.
We'll get Lisa and Marge in Smarch of 2025.
No.
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
Smarch.
Damn Smarch weather. Speaking of disappointing things, Sideshow announced that they are skipping Scandiego. Have you seen the skipping challenge on TikTok? The skipping challenge?
Enlighten
where
me.
people do not remember how to skip. Like, if I asked you to skip right now, would you know? Okay. Would your body know what to do?
Now here's the funny thing. I've found that my son can skip as
sure.
In my opinion, and what the idea of a traditional skip is, he can do it quite well.
Okay.
I feel like if I skip, it's more of like a frolic.
Yes. Well, that is not a skip then. A frolic. I don't even know what a frolic would be.
It's more like I'll bound. It will just be like
you bound. Yeah.
Yeah, like one foot is a lot further than the other. It won't be like the side to side motion.
Do you remember Skip It?
I do remember Skip It. Of course.
Skip It did not really require you to skip. It was basically just like a hula hoop for your foot, and you would jump the other foot so you wouldn't get like hit.
And there was
in the Achilles heel.
There was a counter.
Yeah, there's a counter. So how many rotations you could get? Yeah. So that was an aside. Back to what I was trying to say is San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. That's the big daddy of all the comic toy conventions of the year. They didn't have it during the pandemic. It's back. I think it was back last year. It's a big deal. Like it's become. It started out as comics, and then Hollywood came in and they took over. So now it's become about like what Marvel movies are they going to show? Right. Well, Sideshow Collectibles has announced that they will not be attending. They're going to do their own online thing, July 18th through the 21st. And I don't know if this is the first domino to fall where toy companies are not spending money to bring their people out there and pay for the booth space and just not being part of that community.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of companies had good success and still have good success with their promotions and their yearly stuff, yearly drops, Hasbro, Mattel.
Yep.
All doing different things, all just being a little bit more engaged in the social aspect of things. I know Yojo June is coming up for Hasbro, and there's going to be potentially there's still some hints that there's going to be an accompanying vehicle for the Hiss Tank, that we might be seeing another HasLab project associated with the G.I. Joe Classified line, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of companies are just doing different things now where they don't have to worry about, like you said, the booth space or people getting frustrated not being able to get the exclusives and not everybody being able to get the exclusives that they're kind of selling through. So
I think that it's just a case of the genie being out of the bottle. It's like nobody, when things were just moving right along, nobody thought to like pause and do their own online thing. But now they had to do it in 2020, and now they saw that, we can control the narrative a little better. We can just ship stuff out to the fans. We don't have to worry about in-person fulfillment. Like maybe it's just better. So maybe people are just doing these online, or maybe people are just doing the in-person events for like the history of it. Like they're not benefiting as much as they would through the online events. So it will be interesting to see if more companies announce that they will not be attending the big conventions like Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con.
Yeah, Toy Fair.
Well, Toy Fair, did that even happen? Is that
that got bumped to what, September? They said of this year, September.
Did it
October?
Ever happen? Did it happen last year?
It didn't happen last year. I thought last year they announced that they weren't going to be doing it in February. Yeah, but you said that's not necessarily for fans. That's more of like a press junket thing.
The point of Toy Fair originally was for the buyers. So people from Walmart would come, people when there were more stores, people from Ames, people from Service Merchandise, like when there were a lot of retailers. Yeah. The idea would be they would come, they would send somebody there who would look at the toys and be like, oh, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want to sell this in my store. But now we're down to Target, Walmart, and is that it?
Amazon.
Is that it?
Amazon.
Well, Amazon, yeah, I think that's a whole other ball of wax.
Sure.
So like it doesn't make as much sense, like the audience isn't there, and then it did sort of morph into more of a press event, but now they can do that at Comic-Con, and they actually have fans there to show fan reaction.
Yeah.
So that whole world has changed. The Toy Fair model does not need to exist the way it used to, which is a shame in some ways, but also you get much more access when you do it at San Diego Comic-Con, because you get fans that can come right up to it and take their own pictures. But it's like, what's that expression, like bygones past or whatever. Like it's just something that's not the way it used to be, and now we have to live with, for better or worse. It depends your opinion on it. I know some people are sad to see Toy Fair go. We had Steve on from Sir Steve's Guide to Star Wars years ago at this point, I guess, pre-pandemic maybe. And we talked about his adventures at toy fairs, because the toy companies bring you in, they liquor you up, they have these after parties, you're in there with all the toy journalists, and you have a good old time. And it's just not something that happens anymore.
No, and he had what did he have at the time? The inside scoop and like early images
for the
of episode one
toys. Yes. Yeah, he was telling us about it. Somebody sent him photos, and he dropped them on a Friday before a long weekend, so the lawyers wouldn't get to him until the Tuesday. Yeah, that was quite a story. Yeah. Did you see that they debuted Indiana Jones at Cannes or Cannes? How do you say that?
I've always heard it pronounced cans. Yeah, and
Cannes,
I've heard the reaction isn't all that great.
Not super positive, but you have to consider the audience. Like these are people who are there to see independent films, not necessarily the big blockbuster. So this is something you can actually blame Kathleen Kennedy for, because she made the decision to show this here, to premiere it here, and that movie doesn't come out until later in the summer.
I think
not this month.
I think it comes out at the end of June.
Okay, so later.
Well, not.
But anyway, it's not like where you get reviews a week out. Like the buzz, if there was buzz created, it wasn't going to last 4 weeks for when the movie came out, and it doesn't seem like there's positive buzz coming off of this.
I'll reserve my judgment for my own self.
I'm sure you'll love it.
I don't need some Frenchie telling me how to enjoy my Indiana Jones movie.
Are we gonna blame Brie Larson for this too? It seems like people are always picking on her. She didn't want to comment on the Johnny Depp film. I don't even know. I don't even keep up with like the Hollywood drama anymore, because it seems so pointless. Like these people live in a bubble. Like they're rich regardless of what they do. Like, they're not held accountable for anything.
Jared Leto's just walking around with like a cat head right now.
He's just walking around. Yeah, he's just in a cat costume all day. Yeah,
and it's like, what's that about? So I don't need to do a deep dive into that. I just saw it once and I say, okay, that's just what he's doing. But I don't care.
The funny thing about that was the Met Gala. So he was actually dressed normally. The men who were wearing tuxedos were the ones that were the oddballs. They got called out for it. Yeah. I saw that NECA had a new release date post, and the Turtle Van is not coming out until Q4 of this year. Right. So not till at least October. What was the original release date for that? When did that even go up for pre-order?
Oh, wow. I think it's at least been a year and a half at this point. And
a year and a half, like today, or when it will finally get released?
A year and a half. Today was when it was dropped.
Oh, my God.
But they had to go
and
back.
They just have their money.
Remember they went back and they had to, they announced, I think maybe 2-3 months ago, that they said they were postponing it anyway because they were going to retool.
The hump?
The hump, yeah.
I didn't know that was causing a
I think
delay. I thought
originally it was supposed to be out for Q2 of this year. Like we should be seeing it now. Yeah, but they came back and they were like, yeah, we're going to redesign this.
Yeah. You know this thing you paid for? We are going to change it. So, and they didn't reopen pre-orders, which I thought was weird.
That is odd.
Because they made it better. Like you can disagree or not, but it looks better now.
Yeah.
So people probably like were on the fence and decided not to get it because it was a little humpy.
Yeah.
But
I know that was the that they got that NECA. I got that NECA email as well, and that was probably the shortest pre-sale information email ever. They only had 2 things on it. They had Donatello's portal, and the turtle van.
Did they ever put up cartoon Tokan Razar for like other than getting it from that bizarre Target event?
I never saw it. Besides the holothon and the costumes
ever.
I mean, I've seen them at Target. I own them.
You saw them at Target?
That's where I bought mine. Yeah,
the cartoon versions. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that they actually showed up.
They did.
Okay, well, never mind then. Hasbro is putting out a role-play Magneto helmet similar to the Power Rangers and the Star Wars helmets that they do. I think this is cool. I think this is a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, if anything, if you're going to move towards any kind of... If you're kind of running low on ideas for, say, like Star Wars or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, anything like that, Marvel's your best. I mean, they've been doing Marvel like helmets and Black Series.
They did like Iron Man
for a while. Yeah, they've done Spider-Man. So it's not completely unusual, but this is the first from the animated.
Animated, right? Yeah. This is branded as X-Men '97. Okay. The year. I know you corrected me last time when we talked about this. So the marketing is starting to roll out for X-Men '97, but we don't have like an updated release date. It got pushed back, and now we're not sure. It's in limbo. But I think they ordered a second season, so it's not like it's in trouble. It's just they're trying to figure out where to put it, maybe.
Yeah. Well, don't put it on Disney Plus. They're gonna pull everything anyway.
They're gonna pull it in 6 months. So that's a sort of a surprising story to a lot of people, even the people that were in these projects. Disney announced that content on Disney Plus will not live there forever, and in fact they're pulling some of the shows, including Willow, which will have been available in any form. Like the only way to see it is on Disney Plus for 6 months, and it's gone. gone into the vaults. And it's not like there's a DVD version of this show. Like unless you point your camera at the TV and record it, I don't know how you're gonna get a copy of this.
So that's pretty wild. I know they used the word that it was the show itself was canceled. However, I've read since then that what they did essentially was release all the actors to allow them to go do other projects.
Okay.
So almost kind of putting it on like a hiatus situation. But that kind of got construed as that being canceled altogether. So there's no clear idea that the show was ever canceled. That it was just.
So there could be another season.
There could be another
but
season
anytime soon.
Maybe they want to shop it around. Maybe Netflix wants to pick it up. I mean, maybe that is, like you said, completely vaulted, and they're not going to be allowing anybody to
in the vault
to stream this
until there's nostalgia,
right?
for the new Willow. I don't know.
You remember 6 months ago when I could watch Willow? Yeah. Oh, bring it back. It's been 6 months.
Bring it back. Yeah. Word of mouth finally made its way around.
A lot of it, like what was it? The World According to Jeff Goldblum that was going to get pulled.
Oh, that's still on there.
Yeah.
That didn't seem very Disney. What even is that about?
That was on Nat Geo. That was on Nat Geo. So
okay.
We have to remember that National Geographic is part of Disney. It's that little tab. It's that little tab on Disney Plus that nobody goes to.
It's not. Yeah, I'm not. No, not for me.
If I want to see animals get mauled by other animals, I'll just watch TikTok and be depressed. Right?
I'll just let TikTok spoon feed me terrible videos from animals suffering.
Yeah,
that's why it's there.
I told my wife last night. I go, I've been forever changed because of stupid TikTok showing me the worst of Mother Nature that could ever happen to anything.
It's just trying to smarten you up. It just wants you to see the world for what it is.
Yeah, not a grown man with a pig on a leash walking through a parking lot.
So you had a little piggy in your arms. How'd that happen?
I was just walking. I was going to my parents' house, and I looked over, and there was a guy in the woods walking what I thought was a dog.
Okay.
And I didn't see the dog, so I'm assuming it's a very small dog, and I'm like, oh, the dog's gonna get a tick because it's tick season up here. So I watch my car, and then I turn, put the key in the ignition. I look over, and he's walking across the parking lot, and I look at the whatever he's walking. I'm like, that's the weirdest goddamn chihuahua I've ever seen in my life. And then I realized it was a pig. So I get out of the car, I yell, I go, "Is that a piglet?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." And granted, I'm 200 feet away from this guy at this point. I go, "Can I come over and see it?" And he goes, "Yeah."
Wow.
So 3-week little pig. If you ever get the
3
opportunity,
weeks.
if you ever get the opportunity to see the most and hold the most wholesome thing in the world, it's the 3-week-old piglet.
So, like, how did he come to have a piglet? What's the situation here?
So he explained it to me that he has, and this is the tragically sad part of the whole thing.
This is what I wanted to find out.
Okay, so this piglet happened to be the runt of the litter.
Yep, sure.
They are family friends that raise these pigs for meat. Yep, just
for
like
meat.
Charlotte's Web. Yep,
sure.
they raised them for meat, and this was the runt, and they weren't. They were worried that this pig would not survive. So he took the pig into his house and has been bottle feeding it and raising it and everything like that for the past 3 weeks. I mean, I'm hoping. I asked him. I said, "How big is this piglet going to get?" Because potbelly pigs they'll get fairly big. They'll get there's no such thing as a mini pig.
Yeah.
Even potbelly pigs will get to be like 40, 50, 60 pounds. Regular pigs will get much bigger. And he goes, "Oh, it's going to get as big as a pig will get." And I go, "Oh God." So I'm hoping that this is a pet pig, or he'll put it to I don't know.
You think he's putting that much effort into a pet
Why
pig?
would this pig was literally following this guy around, and he had a leash.
Eat that pig.
He had a leash, and he had a harness for this
delicious.
Little pig.
He's gonna eat him
No.
up. Yum yum
Oh
yum.
my God.
What is the line from The Simpsons where Homer's like, "Oh yeah, a magical animal, Lisa. We get all our
the bacon. Bacon, where he's just going over, we'll have pork tonight, and he goes, "No, we'll have bacon then. Fine, we'll have ham or something." And she's like, "That all comes from the same animal." He's like, "Yeah, that's right, Lisa. Some magical animal."
There was a list of like the most unhinged Simpsons moments, and there's the one from the episode where Homer gets a lobster, and I don't know why he doesn't eat it right away. Yeah, Pinchy, but he keeps it as his pet.
So here's why he doesn't. So okay. Lobster is too expensive, but there's a little one. And he says, "Well, I'll raise this lobster as my own and then eat it once it's larger."
You're right.
Yes.
So it does get larger, but he decides he can't eat it. He's going to keep it as a pet. But then he accidentally puts it in boiling water or something.
Yeah. Yes.
And then he has to eat it. So they show him eating it, and he's like crying, and then he won't even share. Like, he's just eating it all himself.
He's like, "Oh, pass the butter."
Oh my God!
You sent me
today.
Oh my God, that was wild. Where was that from?
Clips. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. These are on TikTok. I don't know if they're from the actual show, but they have to be because they have the voices.
Right.
And it was like CGI, and
it's like the AI generated this.
Well, that's the thing, and maybe it is. The characters were candy bars, and it
right.
was like Halloween because they were like people were eating them, and then they didn't eat the particular members of the family. And at the end, they put them up on the top shelf, and they're next to an Easter bunny, chocolate Easter bunny that had been spared, and it's all dusty up there. And then it ends with the family consuming the Easter bunny as he's like talking to them.
And you got Lisa the Apple saying, "I can't listen to him anymore, Dad." And he, like, Candy Bar Homer, literally bites the mouth off the Easter bunny chocolate.
And Lisa's like, "Thank you, yeah,
thank you." And then they all consume the rabbit, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and I
guess
this was from the Treehouse of Horror.
Okay.
Like it's like if anything, but yeah, pretty messed up. Pretty messed up. Speaking of messed up and AI, the writer's strike is ongoing, and a big part of that is that the writers want something in the contracts that say their jobs will not be replaced by artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. So there was a series of tweets from Justine Bateman on Twitter talking about what she thinks the studios want to do with AI, and She envisions a future where studios will offer customized viewing experiences for the viewers based on their watch history. So AI will actually create shows based on what you want, and they will even like create additional episodes for old shows that where the actors are dead. Like they could just create that. But I think the coolest part, and the part that's kind of making me side with the AI, is they will scan you and they will put you in movies.
Yeah.
So like we could be in Star Wars. All you gotta do is scan our faces.
Right.
So like I'm kind of excited for that future. Like, sorry to the writers, but like, man, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, and I think her example was she threw out that I think she threw out one of those AI generated trailers. It was like if Lord of the Rings was a Wes Anderson movie, and they had just all the actors there looking all CGI'd and
it's a little weird, but I feel like we would get used to it, just like we got.
Oh sure,
CGI, like we would just finally give in and be like, fine, this is what it looks like now, and it would get better, obviously too.
This is that early 2020s AI generated
like Scorpion
stuff.
King with the Rock.
Right.
We accepted that. We were fine with that eventually.
We got past that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Could you imagine custom curtailed media for yourself? Like I want a Batman
they already do
movie.
Like
I guess if you did it that way, I want a Batman movie.
Yeah,
where he fights the Joker.
I want a Batman movie where he fights the Joker.
But I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I want to be Bruce Wayne. I also want Jude Law in it. Like I'm just trying to think of like you just get to pick your cast.
Jude Law is Alfred. Oh wow.
There you go. Sure. Yeah, it's like you always envisioned like this would be a good, and then maybe if that like works well, they can sell your version.
Yeah.
Sell your version of the movie.
Like
at like movie stores, you would go in, you have the employees picks. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you get to pick the soundtrack too. Wow.
Okay, I like this much better.
I like it, right?
Let AI take over everything. It's fine.
I'm on the side of Cybernet or whatever.
Yes,
Terminator.
Cyberdyne. Cyberdyne Systems.
You know, they got some good
Skynet.
points, the AI does. Yeah. You know, it's not all bad. Let's hear from the robots. We can't just, come on, we made them. It's our fault, too. So
robots in the back. I know. Once we came out with those robot dogs, we knew it was over.
We knew it was over. Oh, man. Yeah. My son wanted a robot dog, but we didn't want to pay a lot of money for it. So we got a $25 one from Amazon.
Oh, nice.
And it's about what you would expect for $25. It sings a little Korean song. It doesn't walk, but it like falls on its face and kicks its legs. Like
cute!
Trying to dance. Mm-hmm. My son has already grown tired of it, so we're going to send it back. But I kind of need to do some footage of it just to document that it exists, because it's very like Facebook ad-y. Yeah. Like it just is like something that your like mother-in-law would get you for Christmas. It popped up in her feed, like, oh, I'm sure he would love this. He loves toys.
He loves toys, so this is the sharper image.
That's right. It's a sharper image if mixed with Wish, that kind of stuff. You got something in the mail.
I did. I haven't put it out to display yet, but I will make the effort to do a separate video so we can talk about this. So I've been talking about my love and interest for customized Star Wars stuff that doesn't exist, fan-made stuff. So we're talking Stan Solo, we're talking the next 17 that I've all gone over, and the most recent one is Pally Toy, which these are all from the UK, but this Pally Toy is exclusively playsets. So this came on Thursday. This is the Death Star detention block from Pally Toy. The gentleman there, Lee Gregory, is doing a fantastic job recreating the old 70s aesthetic.
Stealing IP. He's doing a tremendous job ripping off
legit.
Disney.
I didn't think it would say Star Wars right on it. So we got Star Wars, Death Star. You're going to get this poor guy in trouble. I hope to God not.
Well, listen, we didn't force him to make these toys.
We didn't. So I'll just take out the base, because the base is impressive.
Anyone is listening, anyone from Disney is listening, let alone still listening after we talked about the hotel earlier. Yeah, stop. Please turn off your ears.
So this is the base.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah,
That's plastic.
so nice vac formed base, and this is kind of what they did in the UK anyway, in lieu of actual like plastic play sets. It was all just flat box style. So nice base there, and then we have. I'll just show one other piece off. The backdrop, the cardboard backdrop.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So
very retro. That's great.
Very retro. The ink smell on
Smell
this.
good?
Oh my god. It's got that fresh, like hot off the presses ink.
Hot off,
like
right?
that chemical ink smell to it that you should not be inhaling. Yes.
Yeah, it smells like your childhood.
I will be assembling this.
That's great.
God, I really want to get another one. That's the thing with these, because it's like this is only worth what I paid for it at this point. It's not collectible by any means.
No,
and
bootlegs don't get to have an aftermarket value.
Right.
Because you could always make more of them.
You could always make more of them. So
yeah, it's not like real toys where they shut off the presses.
Yes. So he is doing another run based on some interest, and then he is going to be moving forward with other play sets.
That Stan Solo guy, like at one point he was just doing characters that either, are from not the actual movies or that weren't made.
Yeah.
But now he's like doing a better version of Darth Vader. He's just like he's like daring Hasbro to come after him at this point.
He's got a movie accurate Greedo coming out.
Right.
He's got the Tantive 4 Rebels, the Blockade Runner Rebels coming out. Spirit Obi-Wan Kenobi along with Yoda.
Yeah.
But that guy,
so, like,
he's wild.
Cool. But like, man, like any day now that cease and desist has got to be showing
eventually.
Up.
You'd imagine.
You can't do this.
My gosh.
You can't do it. I mean, thank God you are, but like,
there's so much drama. I mean, he doesn't necessarily, I won't say create drama, but he expects certain things from the people that buy his products. Sure. So one of the unspoken rules for anybody who buy a Stan Solo created product is that you do not resell it for a profit. Mm-hmm. That if you were to sell it, you resell it for cost.
You're not flipping. You're not buying.
You're not flipping. Yes. Yeah. So you'll find he's kind of, I would not liken him to the soup Nazi, but from Seinfeld, but that's kind of what he is. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
No bootleg for you.
No. Yeah.
Something about these artists who go into selling, like there's just something about them.
Well,
like,
I mean,
the artist gene just makes you a little
he
wacky.
He does great work, and I would say that 100% of the stuff that I have purchased from him and his US based affiliate have been just amazing quality, a lot of fun, a lot of stuff like to talk about. And it's like that little piece where it's like not everyone has this. So it's just special.
Yeah.
It's special.
Because it's illegal. It's illegal. That's the feeling. That's a special feeling. Ooh, illegal.
Hasbro's gonna knock down my door. Where are your bootlegs? What are you talking about? I don't have any bootlegs
on them. What are you talking about? This is all on the up and up. Yeah. Before I forget, if this is not enough of me for you, you can also hear my voice on the Zeo to Hero podcast. Bill is like, what are you talking about? I was a guest on Billy and Jimmy's Power Rangers show, their podcast Zeo to Hero. So you can throw that into your podcast search engine and find my episode. We talked about the Power Rangers 30th anniversary. We talked about collecting during the pandemic, all that fun stuff. So give them a listen. Make this the most highly viewed, listened to episode ever. They're a couple of good guys. We've had them on our show as well. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Nice.
Bill, are you familiar with the Wholesome Toy Family on Instagram?
Yes.
So I didn't realize until I went to their profile page that Wholesome Toy Family WTF. So that's that in their logo. They have WTF. I'm like, oh yeah. So I started following them at some point, and I just
a while ago.
We'll just see their post, but one series really caught my attention this week, and they have basically a naked action figure like that. It's that like the rubber body, so you don't see the joints.
Yes,
and they did not censor it this time. I know it's not like an actual body, but sometimes they would censor the bits and pieces, but not this time. So this was just popping up in my feed, and definitely got my attention. I went back and looked at some of their posts, and if you're familiar with the Toy Fair days and Twisted Mego Theater, this is a little more twisted than that.
Sure,
but it's action figures in like comic book shots, and just it tells a story.
Yeah,
and they have a lot of fun. The information says it's a husband and wife team from the Rockies. And
okay.
This is not the husband and wife from Toy Scales. This is a different husband and wife group. So go follow them on Instagram. They got some. Don't look at their stuff at work though. It's definitely
right. Yeah,
not safe for work.
Not safe.
Even
Don't look at it with your kids either.
You don't want to risk it. Yeah, your kids don't need to see.
Or with your wife, because then she's going to assume that that's what you're doing with your figures as well.
I mean, there are worse things. So.
Yeah, well, you know what? Most of that stuff, if I ever was to give 2 action figures to my wife, you better believe that's what she would be doing with the figures.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's just like some like inherent like idea, like some preconceived notion that this is what you want the figures to do. Like people play with them that way, and it's like, stop it. Those are my toys.
I know.
You're doing here.
When I would boil my figures to swap the parts around, I would put them in a bowl of water, and my wife would position them like it was in a hot tub. Like she would put Barbie in there to join them. Like, this is serious business. Why are you making a mockery of my work, my life's work here? Clearly, I don't know anything. Maybe this part won't make it either. Join our Patreon to hear all the stuff that we cut out, because
this is all stuff that we should be talking about when we stop recording.
Yeah, no, we definitely won't be talking about that.
Bad mouth our wife podcast.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna end on me talking about being on the other podcast, because
there we go.
That actually went well. All right, Bill. Anything else for this big week?
No, nothing.
Great. All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say? We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.